I can't.
Yeah, that's good.
Be a little bit easier. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you, Kathy. Okay? So Kathy, would you be open to me sharing with you why I love this financial opportunity more than anything else?
Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, and for the sake of this conversation, would you agree with me that a company that has done $7 billion in cumulative sales, that people are using our products?
Yes.
And from my own perspective, I will tell you that I absolutely love these products and I will use them for the rest of my life. But I am building a worldwide business, not because I love the product. I would just tell people about it anyways. I am building a worldwide business because they got this financial model right, and I'd love to share it with you. Is that okay?
That'd be great.
Okay, great. Have you heard of Robert Kiyosaki? He wrote the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes.
Okay, so he talks about cash flow. And cash flow really is about understanding money. So if you can understand money, you can make it, right? So this is the thing that blew my mind. He used Rich Dad, Poor Dad using real estate as the example. And he talks about cash flow, okay? But here's the thing. When using cash flow, he talks about the left side and the right side of a quadrant. And the thing is that he uses real estate as the example of how to move from the left-hand side of the quadrant to the right-hand side of the quadrant. So here's the thing. In the cash flow, you have your employee and your self-employed. On this side of the quadrant represents 95% of the population. But it only represents 5% of the wealth. Now on the right-hand side of the quadrant, right, this is your business and this is your investors. Now the beautiful thing about this is over here it represents 5% of the population, but 95% of the wealth. I don't know about you, but I'd like to be over there. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let me show you how that works. Can you hold this, honey? Thank you. I don't know if you guys know that Cameron in Bali lived with my daughter Chelsea for 6 months, and they killed it. They literally killed it. And she's like my second daughter. Okay, so now what I want you to understand is the company I represent, Isagenix, they use this financial model of the cash flow. But we don't use it for real estate. We use it in building networks. And so what I want to show you is we have the same left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant. On this side of the quadrant is actually linear income. What that means is you're exchanging time for money. And that represents all employees and people who are self-employed. So for myself, Kathy, I started off my life as a hairdresser. And then I evolved to becoming a business owner. And I still lived on the left-hand side of this quadrant, okay? But on the right-hand side is your leveraged income. And as leveraged income, this is your millionaire mindset. And that means I'd rather receive 1% of 100 people and their efforts than 100% of my own. Would you agree with that? Would be a better deal? Okay? Our company pays 6%. Wow. How cool is that? Now, for the sake of this audience here, I just want to teach you something. On the left-hand side of the quadrant, we have customer acquisition, which is our PIB. We have team building income, which is our RAB. And we have leadership income, which is our pools. All of this is still exchanging time for money. Do something, get paid. Don't do something, don't get paid. But I don't teach this when I'm talking to somebody in the very beginning because I don't want to confuse them. I just wanted to explain that to you guys, okay? But over here, what this is all about is moving from linear income into building an asset. Would you like me to show you how we do that? Okay.
See it.
And now I do this on one piece of paper, the top, the bottom, I flip it over, the top, the bottom, but just for the sake of this training. Okay, so here's the thing. We are built on exponential growth, and word of mouth. I'd like to explain this to you. Have you ever seen a penny doubling? Yeah. Take it every single day and you double it, right? What happens? So what happens? On the 10th day, it's $10. But on the 20th day, it's 10,000. And on the 30th day, guys, it's 10 million. Okay, well, this is a 100% compounding effect. And what happens here? We use word of mouth, which is by far, would you agree, the most credible and cost-effective way of bringing a product to market?
Absolutely.
Okay. What would be a modern-day example is Facebook. Think about it. Facebook started the same year as Isagenix did. okay? And they're in every country, or pretty much every country in the world. 3 billion users, and not one dime was spent on advertising. That's the model in which we use. And in our company, what we do is it's all about building a network. In this day and age, would you agree everything's about networks? So what we do is we build 2 networks. And what I'm going to show you is how to bring in 2 people and immediately earn a return on your investment, 100%. Would you be interested in that?
Yes.
Okay. Now let me show you how we maximize this income. So in network marketing, done right, we have 80% customers and 20% committed consumer coaches. These are people that are getting in for the sole purpose of top-down marketing. That means a financial opportunity is what drew them into this business. They love the idea of the trends that are dramatically changing the economy today, are the same trends that are dramatically impacting this actual industry right now with social media and the ability to reach so many people. Would you agree? Okay, so I'm going to use the number 10. Why do I do that? Because 10 in our company maximizes our compensation plan in every possible way. So the goal here is to find 10 committed consumer coaches. Why? As a hairdresser, when I started my life, I had one chair, I worked behind that chair, and that's exchanging time for money. Now, when I owned a salon, if I wanted to get leveraged income, what do? I don't put one chair in there, Kathy, right? I put 10 chairs in there. And I bring on hairdressers that have clientele and some that had to start from the very, very beginning. But the reality is that if I go after my coaches first, I believe that one of the bigger mistakes that we make in network marketing is we try to bring our customers first. And the customers do not build your business for you. They might refer people to you. You might be able to cultivate them over time. I use them as my feeder group, not as my marketers. I look for my committed consumer coaches. They're coaching people on the benefit of being a committed consumer over a long period of time. I would much rather have someone use $150 worth of our product every single month for the rest of their life than sell a value pack and have them leave in 30 days. Now, don't get me wrong. The value pack is for someone, it's a transformation pack. Use your value pack for people who want a transformation, but that's my customer. And maybe it's my business builder too. But I meet the need of the person. And guess what? Last week I brought someone in with 2 values in a 30-day. I met the need of that person. They wanted a transformation, so that's what I gave them. But if I'm specifically teaching business, it's all about the 100 BV to be set free. All right, that's Jimmy Smith all day long, guys. He knows what he's talking about. And so what I'm teaching people is how to take $150 of their hard-earned money and redirect it into a financial model that will reward you for the rest of your life. You take 10 people who find 10 committed consumer coaches. You now have 100. Now go get your customers. I now have a business where I brought my sales force in first and foremost. That business now has 100 committed consumer coaches times 10 customers. I now have 1,000 people consuming 100 business volume a month going through the network. And what would that look like? How about just using a shake and a shot a day, guys? What is the very first thing that we forget to do every morning is eat a right breakfast, right? It's the one meal everyone gets wrong. Or the minerals that are no longer in our diet anymore because it's not in our land. It's not in our soil. So what if you just had a shake and an ionics every single day? It's 100 BV. And that's just one example. You know we have the further back out there. I know there's a whole group of you out there. It's meet the need, guys. Meet the need of that person. Now what do I have here? This is 100,000. 100,000 business volume going through your network. And I'm going to show you how to position that perfectly. And remember that 6% I mentioned, right? I just showed you how to make $6,000 a month, which is $72,000 a year. And if you built it one more time, you'd blow out a business center. That's over $700,000 a year. Are you interested in learning more?
Absolutely. Thank you. Wow, isn't that amazing?